What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clark Sparks Welding. Today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a rig tour and show you what I've done with my truck and a little bit as to why I've done what I've done. Lately we've been doing a little bit more just kind of general mobile welding. So helping out local businesses and things like that, and getting a little bit away from the pipe side of things and the plants and stuff like that. Still do plenty of work of that kind of work, but we're getting into doing some other things, kind of rounding out our skills a little bit. And so what better way to get into the mobile welding side of things than with some new gear? Western Welder was kind enough to send us some of their shirts to try out, and they are today's video sponsor. So if you guys want to get yourself some new gear and get yourself looking a little bit more professional, there will be a discount code in the description that you guys can use and get yourself some new gear. But we'll go ahead and get started with the rig tour, and you can see what I've got going on. So I knew that I wanted to go for like a service truck slash farm truck kind of a look here. And so when I built this bed, I made it super simple and super, nothing fancy. It's all flat. There's no secret hiding spots. There's nothing fancy about it. But what makes the bed super functional is the boxes. And so I got these two triangle boxes, the Montezuma boxes. This is the 36 by 17 and the 30 by 15 box. I'll go ahead and show you what's in here in the bigger box. And that's I keep all my sockets. I've got my 1/2 inch impacts, my 3/8 chrome, metric and standard, and then my 1/4 inch metric and standard as well. And then all the wrenches, all my crescents, they're all lined up on those hooks, and it makes it look really nice, and it's super convenient to work out of because everything's just right there when I need it. And underneath here, this door lifts up, and I can fit all of my battery powered stuff, all of my grinders, drills, my impact, and then I've got a few clamps and a file, just a couple things in there, as well as a couple squares as well. And then drill bits and sockets and just a few bigger, small things. And then in these compartments on the side here, I keep my gloves, my tape measures, pliers, hammers, just a couple of those hand tools that I use quite often that I want to be able to access easily. And then I keep my ratchets up here in the spot for them, as well as my extensions, chisels, wire cutters, screwdrivers, bullpen and spud bars, all sorts of good stuff. And then in this smaller box, I think this is probably my favorite part of the truck, honestly. What I did here was, instead of putting a bunch more sockets on these pegs, I used them for my TIG cups. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the rest of them yet, but for now this is all the space that I've used on the pegs. But in the holes on the whole shelf, I was able to put my 2-hole pins, my tungsten holder, and then my TIG consumables, as well as my torch tips. There's this little shelf here where I could fit both my pipe wraps. I could stick a couple levels under here, and they fit perfect. They don't get in the way. And I keep my grinding discs and my consumables right there in that little shelf. I can fit all the way up to a 7-inch disc, so it's perfect. And then on these bottom pegs right here, I did my grinder nuts and my back nuts. That way I don't lose them, and I know how many I have at the end of the day, or I'm supposed to have at the end of the day, so I can make sure I leave with everything that I brought. And then back here, right in the back, this opens up where the wrenches are supposed to hang down. I can fit 30 pounds or so of rod back here. So it's super handy because I've got some hard facing rod, 70-18 and 60-10, and that's really all I need. And I keep about 10 pounds of each in there, and that way I'm ready for pretty much whatever. And in here I also have my cutting torches and my argon regulator. Then right here there's this little cabinet that opens up, and in here I've got quick connects for my oxygen and acetylene hose, and then a few pipe fitting tools and some Allen wrenches just kind of thrown in there. But moving towards the back of the bed, I've got two 5-gallon gas tanks strapped to the back of my box, and then my leads are just kind of thrown on there. I'm probably gonna put hooks, headache rack, so that way I can hang them up and they're not just sitting on my bed taking up space. But I sold my 300, my classic 300, and bought this Lincoln 330 MPX. And the reason why I did that is, one, because it's smaller and lighter, and then two, because I can do more with it. I can hook up my wire feed to it, my plasma cutter to it, and use it for pretty much anything. There's nothing this machine can't do, and it can do it super well, and it's all super easy to set up. With my classic 300, I tried a few times to hook up a suitcase to it, and I just could never get it to work right. But with this, I can do it all day long, no problem. And so, back to my gas cans. I keep the gas cans because of the machine. You can go through a 10-hour day of running it in high idle pretty much all day long, and you'll be safe. You won't run out of fuel, but you'll need to fill up. And so, in the event that we run longer than 10 hours, I keep those on there so I can fill up and be ready to go no matter what. And then I put this vise on my bed, so that way, for a couple of reasons. So I didn't have to cut any holes for my rollout wheel. I can just clamp it in the vise, and then I've also got the vise for when I need to do some more structural type of stuff. And then the last part I've got here is this job box. I had this small job box that I cut the feet off of and then bolted it down to the bed. But in here, I wanted a place to be able to keep my my power MIG and then my plasma cutter all in one spot whenever I needed to bring it along. And so I bolted this down, and it's kind of like the catch-all really of the bed, where I can put like whatever random thing I need for that day. So my bandsaw, and then my big battery charger to charge all of my batteries at once. Just a couple of random things like that where I can fit my bigger stuff in there. And then on this bed, instead of laying my bottles long ways and taking up a whole bunch of space that way, I decided to stand them up vertically in the bed, and so that way I can fit more than just my 2 oxygen and acetylene. I can fit as many as that will go across the back part of this bed, and I'll ratchet strap them down to the headache rack. But doing that allows me to carry a bottle of argon, 2 bottles of oxygen, a bottle of acetylene, and then a bottle of 75-25 for running carbon wire or whatever gas I need for whatever wire. And so basically, once again, this bed is supposed to be super versatile and supposed to be able to help me do everything under the sun, and just make it so that I never have to say no to a job because I don't have what I need. But since the last rig tour, a couple of things that have changed is I tuned and deleted my truck. I know I talked about doing that, and I finally did it. Finally pulled the trigger. I got my tunes from a place called Valley Center Ag and Repair out of Canada, and they're super awesome. I heard really good things about them, and I'm super happy with them. So they did a great job. And then I did a 5-inch downpipe. So from the turbo back, it's 5-inch exhaust. And that's pretty much all I've done, and I'm not gonna do anything else to it, just to keep it kind of simple, really. And that's pretty much the rig truck and the things that have happened since the last video, and also a little bit of where I've been and what I've been up to since Burley. And I mean, we've been all over the place. We've been in Burley, we went to Boise, I've been back, I've been doing some estimating and sales for a company, and then as well I went to Florida and did some work there. So all over the place, doing a whole bunch of different types of things. But now we're kind of getting back into the mobile welding side of things, and just taking things a little bit more simply. But thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you think of the rig in the comments below.